Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Shades of Edinburgh. This evening, we have a few individuals meeting at the White Hart Inn to have a lovely discussion on the events at the I can't remember what the name of the event was, but the event was at a park entailing music and all kinds of local legends and stuff. But yeah. So Ailey has she's kind of just chilling, waiting for Miranda.
She doesn't have to wait long. Miranda comes in, her bubbly, bouncy self, waving hi to people she doesn't know, and until she finally sees Ailey, and then she makes her way over and gives Ailey a hug, whether she was wanting or expecting it or not.
She definitely looks a little taken aback, but she'll actually like give her a one-handed hug.
You will not believe all the things that I have figured out about this man.
I found out a little bit myself, actually.
Ooh, perhaps what you have found will make what I have found more gooder.
Oh, I hope so. Whatever is going on with this dude, you know. She's she doesn't seem to have a drink or anything either. She's just sitting there and she's like, "Well, they told me like he's sounded like the sorcerer of Gil Morton Grotto." It was one of the legends of the Fae, I guess.
Ooh,
Mm,
I know who to ask about the local lores before that then.
well, the story, I guess, was that I had asked the story. I actually talked to some people here, but they said that he was apparently a lord who'd lost his lands and such to the church, and some claimed he was well, one of the a chill son of a Fae prince and a lord's daughter. And I guess they came to him for like healing and magic, but and that like him just being around turned the tides of battles and the courts and things.
That's very interesting.
But I mean, when I asked about Dane under the Raven banner, no one recognized that name.
That's because his name is actually Dane McHern. McHern. That is with two C's.
McCarran?
See?
Okay.
She's actually going to write it down MAC, then a big CAIRN.
Excellent.
It was on all of his mail, but I could not get a good look at an address.
Wait, Ailey kind of like she kind of looks around when she starts talking about getting into his mail. You can get into a lot of trouble for that. She keeps her voice down like whispers. You can get in a lot of trouble for that.
For what?
Going through somebody's mail.
I didn't go through his mail.
How did you do it?
I open my eyes and I look. And she just shakes her head, pulls a small mirror out of her bag and sets it down, and there's a pentacle in blood on it.
Oh. Oh. Ailey will just
She
kind
then
of
puts it back.
okay. Then there's nothing to worry about.
He has he likes to talk to people. A librarian, There is a shop he likes to visit for like crystals and herbs.
What shop?
See, and do you know of any stables around the edge of town?
Any what at the edge of town?
Stables where they put the horses.
Stables. I'm sure there are plenty, but
If
none
I
off the
can,
top of my head.
if I can see the actual places, I can pin down where I saw them or saw him.
Okay.
Do you know of any old bookstores?
Bookstores specifically?
See,
No, I know of an old occult shop. There's obviously plenty of libraries, likely with very old books in some.
and he lives in a dark apartment. The windows are up high, so I think it is like a basement apartment.
Oh, like the windows are higher than they should be for
See, they are
from the
up near
okay,
the top of the wall,
okay.
and the door is a old wood door, and it has the iron like detailed twisty works on it.
Lots of metal work,
See,
fancy metal work.
somewhat fancy metal work. See, but
Perhaps
everybody.
it's one of the castles.
Mm, maybe it's it. I did not think the castles have basements with windows, though.
Windows? It depends. Perhaps it's been renovated and modified. That's not unheard of. Unless it's a I mean, there's a possibility that someone built something more modern too, and it's not one of the historical buildings.
But everybody referred to him as Dane McCairn, and it was on
Mm.
the envelopes in his hand.
Well, if you're looking for stables, I might I think I have someone I can ask about stable locations.
Because if I can figure out which stable, I can start narrowing down where he is.
Yes. Yes. And that name might help more than Dane under the Raven banner too in finding information. I can look into his name at least. Perhaps I can find properties he owns and such.
Oh.
You mentioned a bookstore.
See, an
Okay,
old bookstore. It was definitely old.
very well.
I don't know if any of the Kindred in town have one,
Hmm. Well, I
but it
may.
would be a place where they are more likely to have an old bookstore, depending on the which family they are a part of.
Hmm. Well, I can also. I know people who've been in this city much longer who may know of such a place.
Oh, bien, bien. That is very good. The more we can narrow him down,
The
as long as we
better
can
for
stop
everyone.
him from blabbing his mouth all over the place. I am worried if he gets a bigger audience who does not think he is part of the entertainment.
Right. Hmm.
Because people that do not like no human people will pretty much come and try and put these stops to us.
Yeah. He can't be
They
let.
rather like living.
I'm sure you do. It's always work to do, I tell you what.
It does definitely seem that way.
Hmm. And ever since returning home, well, I can safely say that I'm much more entertained. Far more to do.
It is good sometimes to have things to keep you busy.
Oh, it's very good to have things to keep me busy. She just kind of shrugs at that, like, it's definitely nicer to be home, closer to things. I know.
I am very fortunate to have a home be where those that I care about are at.
That's exactly why I'm home. She kind of has it's a small smile. My family is here.
So is mine.
Good.
So those
So
are the leads that I have.
that's the lead that I have too. I mean, we have enough information to proceed anyways.
I can see about talking to the fair folk about the story of the man of the Dane.
I believe that they
See if,
were the ones who told me the story of the
but I want to see if they can give me a locations of where that take it the place at. If they can remembers, like
mm,
where his tower was. Because if it is a in some location and I could look at the location and there is a old door in the ground with the ironwork that I look familiar to.
wait, this is gonna sound really, really strange. Ironwork, you said. Intricate like ironwork on the gate and a big heavy wooden door.
See?
What if it's not an apartment? It sounds awfully crypt-like in a cemetery too.
Perhaps. I lived in a crib back in Amsterdam
Yeah.
for a while. So it's not unheard of. Definitely
No.
will keep the options open. I do not remember cribs with wooden doors though.
Um, I would imagine it depends on the age of the crypt.
Because wood eventually will rot away.
It will. How old did the wood look, or did you?
I could not tell. This spell was focused on him, and that was just things that I picked up in the peripheral.
Well, I could do a drive around the city. See if I can find addresses with big wooden doors, and that matches your description.
I am having a feeling that if we find out where this tower was, that will narrow down where the door will be.
Towers and doors. See, we got enough to look for.
I do not think it is a tower still. I think it is just where the tower was.
Tower was.
But if it is a fey or magical point,
May not see
he
it.
would want to return because steady source. It would be like having a pool that makes a fresh blood all the time.
Right. I understand.
A font does not just the writing font, but like the font of magic.
Right.
See,
It could be. Well, I happen to know a few people who are very into local history.
then it seems we have our next steps in the adventure.
Indeed. I will look into the stables and I will talk to people and find out if there are where towers are in the city currently, and if there are any that are no longer standing.
See,
And I may still look for a door of a similar description. Sounds like a good way to get out for a while.
see.
Well, goody.
We
Do
will
you have
check in
any?
again very soon, then.
Yes, very soon. She'll pull a slip of paper out of her pocket and write down a phone number for her
She will take it.
in case you need to find me.
I will keep it in the mind.
Very well. Anything else, Miranda?
No, chica. That was all of the things that I could think of.
Very well. That's like I said, and that was all I had, and I should probably get out of here so I can slip back in without hopefully anyone knowing I was gone.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. I'll probably need all the luck I can get. She kind of laughs. And she'll get up, and I look forward to seeing you again.
See? Are you?
Mm.
Adios, chica.
Mhm. And yeah, Ailey will get up and maneuver.
Randall have a shot of tequila and then head home.
Righty. Well, that's that then.
Yerp.
Thank Yes. Thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching.
And for bringing bacon.